dealing with concurrency issues. So what this means is that we'll explore what goes wrong when multi-threads run at the same time, even though writing basic multi-threaded code is easy. Having it to behave correctly is much harder. This is where we introduce tools from Java util concurrency that help manage the shared data safely and avoid common threading bugs. So now I'm going to hand it over to James.
So for the two threads routing, they've created a thread pool with two worker threads, and they've got the data and new data, and that creates one shared data object that both threads will access. They've got the first thread adds lowercase letters with the add letter to data, small a, and then data, and they have the second that adds uppercase letters, and then here you can see it's got a capital A data, and they start accepting new tasks after the current one finished with the thread pool shut down, and they add 26 letters to the shared data objects for the alphabet, a private static void add letter to data, and then they loop through the alphabet with the for, and they add the current letter to the shared list. And here they've got a try and a catch, and they pause briefly to make threads interleaving easier to observe with the thread.sleep 50. And they've got the catch, and that ignores the interruption for this example. Then they display the contents of the shared list with the system.out.printin with the thread.current thread get name and the data.get letters. And they display the total number of items in a shared list with the thread.current thread get name plus size plus data dot get letter dot size. And then here is the final class data that Cavello will be explaining.
Yeah, so James just pretty much explained the 101 functionality and the code that is being used now to pretty much he broke down everything that we need to know about how this code is going to work to produce a final class data that's going to produce. So a simple holder class wrapping a shared list of letters. So final class data. Note, array list is not thread safe. When multiple threads call add letter empty brackets concurrently without synchronization, this can lead to race conditions. So lost updates, corrupt internal state, or exceptions since our array list's internal array resizing logic isn't designed to handle simultaneous writes. So private final list string letters is going to equal to new array list empty brackets. So returns the underlying list of letters notes exposes the live list directly, not a defensive copy. So public list string get letters, return letters. So add a single letter as a string to the list. Public void add letter then character letter. Letters add string value of letter. So that's the final class data. And as you can see here for the output, we got pull one thread, two. So A, B, B. So this is a whole alphabet, in lowercase and uppercase for all the alphabets, right? And then you got, pull one thread one, same thing here, right? Pull one thread two, same thing. Then pull one thread one, same thing. Then pull one thread one size 50. Then pull one thread two size 50. And then build successful. Total time 13 seconds. So yeah, so as you can see here, you got two threads for each type of output that we have. Two threads for AA, or uppercase, lowercase, and then two threads for 50. So that's pretty much what we're dealing with here. Yeah. So that was chapter 18. Yeah. So take care and bless you all. Thank you. So as you can see here, we've got imports, Java sound, MIDI, Java swing, Java everything.
If he comes back with what we must do, then it was just tell me for the test, bro, and then we could do that after then. Then at least we're done.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Shut up.
Short.
Yeah,
Check your clock.
Yeah, check you, man. Check you. Yeah,
Right.
check you, guys. Yeah, that. Shake. So as you can see here, we got for beatbox, we have imports, Java sound, MIDI, swing event, AWT, IO, netsocket, then util, concurrent, Java sound, MIDI, short message, and then you got a public class beatbox. So these are the names of the instruments as a string array for building the GUI labels on each row. And then you got the lists of everything that's going to be listed. These represent the actual drum keys. The drum key is like a piano, except each key on the piano is a different drum. So the number 35 is the key for the bass drum, 42 is a closed hi-hat, etc. Then final beatbox client program. Most of this code is the same as the code from the code kitchens in the previous chapters, so we don't annotate the whole thing again. The new parts include UI. Two new components are added for the next text area. Displays incoming messages, actually read scrolling list and the text field. And then add a compound line argument for your screen name. Example, Java Beatbox the Flash. So set up the new working IO and make the reader thread. So we're using sockets here instead of channels because they freaking work, and then better with object input output out streams. And then this pretty much is a catch for exception. Couldn't connect, you'll have to play alone. And this connects to a socket here. So this is the music server that you have to write, that you have to run. And then public void build GUI. You've seen this GUI code before in chapter 15. Empty border gives us a margin between the edge of the panel and where the components are placed. And then this is the trash box. This controls groups and labels so they read as one unit. Same thing here. Yeah, this all the shape buttons, the chat box, the user message, the incoming list box, button box, grid layout, frame pack, private void, And then, this is the try and catch for the functionality of everything we did here. So so let's see what happens if we run the beatbox without the music server. See what happens here. It's gonna run. Probably gonna run into a error. Could connect. You have to play alone. As you can see here, the exception ran. So let's see. Let's run. Let's cancel this. Run the music service first. Let's run the music server first, man. Let's run this thing. So it's running. Now let's run beatbox. Got a connection. Okay, we got a connection. It's pinging now. And all this thing just needs to show our beatbox. So let's see the bass drum. And then once we press this, let's change it up a little. Stop. As you can see. And then once those messages are saved, you pretty much have a mini library of sounds you can choose from. And then that's it, that's beatbox. So take care and have a nice day, and bless you all.